I was never the brave one. In school, I was the quiet kid in the back row, the one who always had an excuse for not turning in an assignment or an answer. At work, I was the one who avoided big projects and stuck to menial tasks. My life was a loop of fear and excuses, but one rainy Thursday changed everything. I had been working late, alone in the office. The storm outside was brutal. Thunder rattled the windows. Suddenly, my phone buzzed. It was an unknown number. I almost ignored it. There were hundreds of telemarketers in my contacts, but something in me, perhaps boredom or the thunderclaps echoing my heartbeat, made me pick it up. "Hello," I answered cautiously. On the line was a trembling voice. "Please, I think I'm lost," the woman said. She sounded young, scared, and alone. I could hear cars rushing by her, engines growling, horns honking. "Lost," I repeated, surprised. "Yeah, I dialed the wrong number, I think," she said. "Wait," she whispered. "I don't want to be bothered either, but I'm really scared. Could you stay on the line, please?" I hesitated. This wasn't my problem. If she was lost, she should call the police. But there was something in her voice that made me ask, "Where are you?" "I don't know," she admitted. "There are dark streets and flashing lights. I can't see." My heart raced. This was crazy. Yet I couldn't hang up. I felt a strange sense of responsibility. "Do you remember what street you turned onto? Anything?" "No, nothing," she whispered. Then she added, "I shouldn't have left the house. I should have stayed home watching movies like you and your friends. Now I'm scared." "Hey, it'll be okay," I lied. I felt a sudden urge to get out of the office, to get out in the storm. Whatever possessed me, I put on my coat. I grabbed my umbrella. It was flimsy, but I needed to do something. As I stepped outside, the rain slapped my face. I stood there mesmerized by the feeling of raindrops hitting my skin. My legs felt heavy with doubt. What if I failed to find her? What if I made things worse, but I kept walking? I started moving forward, though slowly. The sound of my boots splashing through puddles pushed me ahead. I kept her talking so she wouldn't panic. I asked her about her day, her interests, anything to distract her from the fear that must have been gripping her. I told her about my favorite coffee shop, the one with the window table overlooking the park, about the time I accidentally wore mismatched shoes to work, clunky brown ones on my right foot and elegant black ones on the left. As I walked along, I kept thinking of ways to help, but the city was dark and the storm was relentless. Rain poured, wind howled, and I worried I'd never find her. Then I saw it, a flickering light ahead, a street lamp or maybe a shop. Hope surged through me. I quickened my pace. It was a convenience store, its neon sign buzzing above the door. Relief washed over me. It wasn't much, but it was somewhere. I hoped she was close by. After what felt like hours, though it had only been 20 minutes, I saw her standing on the opposite side of the street. I couldn't believe it. She was tiny in the shadows. Her eyes darted around in fear. I waved my arms. "Over here," I shouted. She hesitated, then started running. I didn't know why, but I began jogging, too. We met halfway, and I offered my hand. She grabbed it tightly, and I pulled her close. "Are you okay?" I asked. "I'm lost. I think I'm really lost." I smiled. "Not anymore," I promised. And I walked her to the nearest cafe. The warmth hit us instantly. It was a cozy place with cinnamon buns in the oven. Steam rose from mugs and soft jazz played in the background. She ordered hot chocolate. I ordered coffee. We sat in comfortable silence for a moment, and then she said, "You didn't have to help me." "I know," I replied, "but I wanted to. I ran away from home," she confessed. And I know it sounds silly, but I panicked when I realized I didn't have anyone to turn to. You were the first person I could talk to, and I didn't know what to say. So I lied. "It's okay," I said gently. "I understand." She told me she had run away from a dangerous situation. She didn't trust anyone until tonight. I looked at her, really looked at her for the first time. She was younger than I had imagined, maybe 19 or 20. Her eyes were red-rimmed. Her hands trembled slightly. I felt a surge of protectiveness. My heart went out to her. When the bell above the door chimed and 2 officers entered, She stiffened. Is everything all right? I asked, sensing her fear. It's them, she whispered urgently. They found me. I'm sorry. I have to go. She stood up abruptly, knocking her chair over. Don't go, I said instinctively. Please, stay here. They won't hurt you. You're safe here. But she was already gone, rushing toward the officers. I didn't mean to waste your time, but I need your help. I'm in danger. The officer closest to her, a tall man with kind eyes, knelt down to her level. What's your name, sweetheart? He asked gently. And where are you from? Do you live nearby? She hesitated, then took a deep breath. My name is Ella, and I'm from a shelter. I need protection. I'm scared. She looked at me and mouthed, Thank you. I felt tears pricking my eyes. I nodded slowly, unable to speak. When she left with the police for safety, she turned back. You saved me, she said, her voice thick with emotion. You didn't have to help me. I know, I replied, my throat tight, but I wanted to. I watched them go, my heart aching with a mix of sadness and relief. I knew I'd never see Ella again, but I was glad she was safe. As I walked home that night, the rain had stopped. The clouds had parted, revealing a sky full of stars. It was as if the storm inside me had calmed down too. I felt lighter somehow. The next morning, I woke up early, energized. I had a sudden urge to start my day, to make the most of it. I went for a long walk, then signed up for a volunteer program at an animal shelter. I've always loved animals, but I never had the courage to commit. Now, as I played with the dogs, I felt a sense of purpose. Days turned into weeks. Fear didn't vanish overnight, but now I knew I could act in spite of it. Each time I hesitated, I remembered her voice. Please, I think I'm lost. That call had been an accident, but maybe it wasn't. Maybe it was the universe's way of testing me. And for once, I passed. At work, I started taking more risks, speaking up in meetings, suggesting new ideas, leading small projects. People noticed. My boss called me into his office one day. I want you on this project, he said, handing me a file. It's crucial for the company, and I want you to lead it. I stared at him in disbelief. But I've never led a project this size. That's why I chose you. You're ready, Sarah. I can see it. You just need a chance. He smiled encouragingly. Okay, I whispered, surprised by the steadiness in my voice. Within months, my hard work paid off. I received a promotion. My friends asked, what changed? I simply said, one rainy night, they didn't understand, but I did. Life rarely hands us perfect moments. It gives us messy, inconvenient ones instead. And if we're lucky, we step into them. That's when everything changes. That's when courage finds you. And you never lose it again.